Iced up. Ice what?
Whoa, whoa, baby, poke it out, poke it out, poke it out.
What is up, everyone? So we're back again, and we're doing one of my favorite series of the entire week, which is the New Orleans Saints versus blank key matchups to watch. And this week we play the Arizona Cardinals, so that's what it will be. I'll be sure to make a very extensive one against the bye week next week. This is one of my favorite series, and we're going to be doing the New Orleans Saints versus Arizona Cardinals key matchups. And the question of the day before I start this video, what matchup are you most excited to watch? I'm very curious as to what you guys have to think, whether it be Pat, Pete, and Mike Thomas, Chauncey, Gardner versus Fitz. Let me know down in the comments below, and I'll be sure to give my input on whatever you want to see happen. So there are some matchups that I left completely off of this video, like the New Orleans Saints running backs. As Alvin Kamara has returned to practice as a limited participant, I didn't know who to go ahead and write the script about. Would I write it about Latavius Murray? Would I write it about Alvin, Dwayne Washington? I don't know. So I left that completely off of this list. I'm so sorry, guys, but just understand. And I also left the Demario Davis versus David Johnson matchup off of this list as well because of the same reason. David Johnson was not a participant in practice at all, so I was kind of worried and a little bit, I don't really want to just write that whole thing and have it take up 3 minutes of a video when it might not even happen. So these are the solidified matchups that will be happening this week no matter what. So yeah, let's get into the first one, and that is a pretty interesting one. It's the mystery quarterback versus the Arizona Cardinals defense. Now, there isn't a true 100% word as to who the starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints is going to be Week 8 versus the Arizona Cardinals. Drew Brees said the plan is, quote unquote, to play this Sunday, and that if he tells Sean Payton that he's ready, Sean Payton will believe him and put him out there. Now, in my opinion, I don't think that's the smartest idea. I'm down for another week of Teddy Bridgewater, and I'm gonna miss watching him play very much. Even though it's gonna be a great feeling to get our starting quarterback back, I'm just going to miss the charisma Teddy Bridgewater had with this team. Drew Brees will be infinitely better forever, but it's just kind of it's always a good sign of hope to see the New Orleans Saints win games without the person who has carried them so many years. Drew Brees throwing 4 touchdowns a game and going 7-9. It's so refreshing to see our team operate at every single level. And I feel like even though the team loves Drew Brees, I feel like Teddy Bridgewater has brought the best out of them because they've had to play that good. The defense has played the best I've ever seen it in a really long time. The special teams has elevated to a whole new level. I just feel like everybody's playing on a different cylinder, and I'm going to miss it. But it is time soon for the king to take his throne back, and that is the second coming of Jesus Christ. So why I say this is a mystery QB, like I said, we don't know who's starting. Sean Payton and Drew Brees have been talking about Drew Brees starting a lot. It is a huge possibility. He is a limited participant in practice yet again. So let me go ahead and take a look at the stats of each quarterback and the stats of the Arizona Cardinals defense and see if they can fare against it. So Teddy Bridgewater has had a 67.7 completion percentage on the entire season, 1,370 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 2 50-50 interceptions that shouldn't even have been qualified. They shouldn't even have been put on his stat sheet because neither of them were his fault. Drew Brees, when he played that one game in like 3 minutes, had a 72.9 completion percentage, 408 yards, and that was in one game in 3 minutes. 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions as well, but we're not going to talk about those interceptions. The Arizona Cardinals passing defense has allowed 17 passing touchdowns this year. That is really bad. I think that's like 26th in the league. That's not good. They've only picked off a quarterback one time all season, and that was Daniel Jones, the rookie, last week. They got their first interception in week 7. That's insane. Something that the New Orleans Saints, Teddy Bridgewater, or Drew Brees, regardless of who it is, will take advantage of. You've seen what Teddy Bridgewater did against a low-ranked passing defense, and that was put up 4 touchdowns against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't think that this defense can do much against Drew Brees or Teddy Bridgewater. And I'm not saying their defense as a whole, just their secondary, but they did get a major upgrade with Pat Pete coming back off of that 6-game suspension. We will talk about him in a bit, but the Arizona Cardinals defense has been statistically bad over the last couple of weeks. We don't know who's going to be playing quarterback, so make sure to watch that matchup. Whoever does step out on that field, hopefully they can capitalize on a defense that has only had 1 interception all year and has allowed 17 passing touchdowns. We will see, but that is the first matchup to watch. The next matchup to watch is one that I am extremely excited for, and that is none other than Michael Thomas, can't guard Mike on Instagram, versus Patrick Peterson. Patrick Peterson, as I mentioned, is coming off of his 6-game suspension and started his first game of the season against the New York Giants last week. Both of these players are one of the best in their respective positions. You could argue that Pat Pete's the best corner in the NFL, and you can argue that Michael Thomas is the best wide receiver in the NFL. Pat returned from his suspension, as I mentioned, and he had 4 targets. 3 receptions were made on him, but he did have a game-sealing forced fumble and a 63.2 Pro Football Focus grade. Mike already has 62 receptions, which is leading the league, 763 receiving yards, which is leading the league, and 3 touchdowns. We're only going into week 8. Another interesting fact, and another reason why, regardless of the fact that receivers never win MVP, why Michael Thomas should be in the MVP race, he's caught 7.71 passes per game in his entire career with Drew Brees. Guess how many passes he's caught with Teddy Bridgewater in these last 5 games? 7.71. He's quarterback proof. You just cannot guard Mike. He's been a fantastic receiver all season, and Patrick Peterson is one of the best to ever do it at that cornerback position. He has struggled a bit back in his career against some physical wide receivers, so expect them both to get the best of each other at certain points during this game. This is going to be one of the grittiest, most physical matchups on the field all game on Sunday. This is a huge key matchup to watch. Keep your eye on it. All right, so this is one I'm just a little bit worried about, but I do really love the swag that Chauncey Gardner-Johnson plays with. This is one that, like, it could go bad or it could go great. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson has a big test this week. He came in and played magnificent against the Chicago Bears with his starting role in the slot, replacing P.J. Williams until he is back after this last week of suspension. But the immortal Larry Fitzgerald has 51 targets, 36 receptions, 439 yards, and 2 touchdowns this season already as a 16-year vet. That's impressive. One thing that worries me a little bit about this matchup is that Larry Fitzgerald is a very, very, very battle-tested 16-year NFL veteran that can use that brain power and that football IQ to throw the rookies around a little bit. And that's something that he's been doing all season. He's been berating rookies. Larry Fitzgerald for the past couple of years has been playing in the slot, and that is why it's not Marshawn Lattimore versus Larry Fitzgerald. It's Chauncey Gardner-Johnson versus Larry Fitzgerald. Like I said, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson did play a fantastic game against the Chicago Bears in the slot on last Sunday, but this is a huge test. Larry Fitz, he's fast. He can catch the ball in contested situations. His IQ is above any wide receiver in the games right now. He is a vet, battle-tested, battle-ready, and someone that we really, really, really need to watch out for because the dude is talented and someone that could easily dice up a defense when, like I said, you have a rookie out there guarding someone who's been in the league almost as long as I've been alive. Watch out for that. That's a key matchup to watch for sure. So this is another pretty big matchup to watch. Kyler Murray is very, 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 let's say he's a very fast quarterback. One of the fastest quarterbacks in the league, a baseball player at heart. The dude can run. So the New Orleans Saints D-line has a big task at hand, and that is containing Kyler Murray. If they're going to beat us, there's going to be a lot of Kyler Murray picking up first downs with his legs to extend drives. That's going to be a common thing, a common theme. The New Orleans Saints, okay, let me tell you this real quick. 7 NFL quarterbacks have rushed for 150-plus yards this season. The Saints have already seen 4 of them this year, and Kyler Murray will be the 5th. That's going to be a very, very, very big deal here. The New Orleans Saints have been very good against containing quarterbacks with the run. They did great against Russell Wilson, great against Dak Prescott. They've done their job containing the quarterback and making sure they didn't beret them with extremely long runs to pick up first downs and extended drives. So if the Saints can do that this week, I really like our odds of winning this game. Marcus Davenport has to step up. Cameron Jordan needs to beat Cameron Jordan, and the interior linemen need to just pay attention and make sure they do not let that dude bounce out of there. Maybe set a spy, have someone watching Kyler Murray at all times, because for the love of God, all we need is him breaking loose for a 90-yard rushing touchdown. The defense has been great, but nobody just expects a quarterback to run the ball whenever he gets it. Look for Kyler Murray to do it a bit more. The Cardinals have had the 26th worst offensive line in the league this season, though. But it's been amazing the past few weeks, and it's a big reason they are 3-0 in the past 3 weeks. But they've played the Bengals, Falcons, and Giants, all bottom defenses in the league in that 3-week span. They've allowed 23 sacks already and 34 quarterback hits. The Saints' defensive line has 20 sacks alone, so that's a big deal right there. The Saints' defensive line should be looking to have a big day. Look for Cameron Jordan, look for Sheldon Rankins, Marcus Davenport, David Onyemata, Malcolm Brown to get in their face, get involved. Trey Hendrickson is a full participant in practice. He may play this week. There's going to be a lot of rotation. There's going to be keeping the Cardinals guessing a lot. This is a really big thing to, if we win this game, though, we cannot allow Kyler Murray to go ahead and extend drives with his legs, so definitely this is a huge matchup to watch. The next matchup I would like to bring up is the New Orleans Saints offensive line versus the Arizona Cardinals defensive line. Now, the New Orleans Saints offensive line has allowed 12 sacks this year, which isn't the best thing ever, but it has been progressively getting better. I think I've been saying that it's given up 12 sacks for like 3 weeks now. It's been doing its job, and it's been doing it fantastic. Teddy Bridgewater has been raving about them on social media, on Instagram. He posted a bunch of pictures of everybody else on the team but him. Extremely selfless. He was posting pictures of the offensive line players, the wide receivers, everything like that. It's just been a joy to see. But the offensive line has been doing their job. Teddy had so much time against the Bears. There was one play where he was standing for 9 seconds. 9. Surveying the field. Ended up having to check it down, but it was insanity. The offensive line has been giving Teddy an extremely good amount of time. Ryan Ramczyk has been one of the best tackles in the league by far. He hasn't given up a sack to J.J. Watt, Jadeveon Clowney, DeMarcus Lawrence, Shaquille Barrett, Calais Campbell, or Khalil Mack. And there are many other names that I didn't even mention. This dude has been phenomenal, one of the best tackles in the league, and a huge reason as to why our offensive line is so dominant. The Cardinals will be a tough test, though, as they're ranked 3rd in sacks this year. They have 22. That's 2 more than us. I know, weird, right? Can the offensive line open up holes for Latavius Murray or Alvin Kamara? Can they protect Bridgewater? Huge keys to this game. Another giant key matchup to watch. So sorry for anything that got left out of this video. I promise I will be covering it in the predictions video because I will have a better look at who is playing and who is not. I'll let you guys know right now. Alvin Kamara was a limited participant in practice today. Drew Brees was a limited participant in practice today. Eli Apple was a full participant in practice today. Amazing thing to know. Good to see that he's healing up fine. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for all the support lately. Leave your hate comments if you want. I will just give them a little heart button and then tell you to get off my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you boys in the next one. Adios.
Ballin' like Barkley, wrist so sparkly, internet surfing, feel like iCarly.